Bonjour, comment allez-vous? Hello, how are you? Welcome back to my YouTube channel Learn French with Anubhav. If you have already subscribed to my channel, press the bell icon to get the latest updates. In this class, we are taking another tense in French, which is most probably the 15th tense which we are discussing on this channel. So, the tense which we are doing today is known as French Perfect Participle. Perfect participle in French, in other terms, it can be referred as passé composé of participe présent, and this tense is also known as past gerund. Participe présent is again a tense which we discussed in one of my previous videos. You may watch it, links are in the description. So these are the names of the tenses of the tense which we are doing today. It is known as French Perfect Participle or past gerund, or one may even call it as passé composé of participe présent. Now, moving towards the construction or formation of French Perfect Participle. First thing, no subject. Then we have the participe présent form of the auxiliary verb. We all know that there are two auxiliary verbs. It will be either avoir or être. Right, for avoir, it's ayant. For être, it's étant. After the participe présent of the auxiliary verb, then we will have the past participle of the verb, followed by the agreement if applicable. Like if there is étant in the sentence or there is a right object pronoun, then the agreement has to be followed. Agreement, I hope you remember, like for feminine subject E to be added in the past participle, for plural subject S to be added, for feminine plural E and S to be added, like that. So past participle followed by agreement if applicable. So that's the construction of this tense, French perfect participle. First of all, no subject. Then we have the participe présent form of the auxiliary verb, which is either avoir, whose participe présent is ayant, or être, whose participe présent is étant. And then we have past participle of the verb, followed by agreement if applicable. So, talking about when to use this particular tense, French perfect participle or passé composé of participe présent or past gerund. It is to be used to describe either a condition existing in past or an action that took place right before another action. I repeat, to describe either a condition existing in past or an action that took place right before another action. And this particular tense has an equivalent to infinitive passe. Now, equivalent. What I mean here by saying equivalent is like infinitive passe and French perfect participle can be used interchangeably. Like in the sentences where infinitive passe is applicable, there French perfect participle can be used, or in the sentences where French perfect participle is used, their infinitive passe is also an alternative. So it's an equivalent. They have the similar use and they can be used in the same manner. The links are in the description. This tense we have already discussed, so you can watch it. Links in description. Talking about the use, the statement which I have written to describe either a condition existing in past or an action that took place right before another action, this will become clear by taking some example sentences. So let's take some sentences. You may call them example, like to know the application of the tense. Let's take first sentence. ayant fait mon devoir, je regarde la télé. Ayant fait mon devoir, je regarde la télé. Having done my homework, I watch TV. So, finishing the homework, this action took place before watching TV. The second action. Since one action is taking place before the other, the one preceding the second action will be in the French perfect participle or past gerund or past composer of participles. So, it will, and as you know, no subject. So, ayant fait mon devoir, je regarde la télé. Having done my homework, I watch TV. Now, it could have been with infinitive passe too. It would be après avoir fait. And then the rest of the sentence the same manner. Then the translation would be, after having finished my homework, I watch TV. Having finished my homework, I watch TV. Well, it's the same thing, right? So they can be used interchangeably, they have the same usage. Also, a point to be noted that here both parts are with je. This also with je, and this more also indicates that it's with je. So they both are having the same subject. Now, talking about this point, infinitive passe, there was one major condition that both parts have to be with the same subject. But in French perfect participle, it's not necessary. Like here we have both same subjects. It can be with two different subjects also. So this can be considered a point of distinction between the infinitive passe and French perfect participle, or the past gerund, or the passe composé of passe composé of participe présent. The distinctive point is that infinitive passe has to be with both subject as the same, and French perfect participle can be in both ways, if the both subjects are same or if the both subjects are different. So one may conclude that all sentences of infinitive passe can be written in French perfect participle, but all sentences of French perfect participle cannot be written in infinitive passe. Let's take a second example. Let's write, étant parti très tôt, il a dû conduire seul. Étant parti très tôt, il a dû conduire seul. Having left very early, he had to drive alone. Étant parti très tôt, il a dû conduire seul. Now, talking about the sentence, here we have used the French perfect participle or the past gerund, étant parti très tôt, having left very early. Il a dû conduire seul. If we analyze the statement, like if you see, il a dû conduire seul, he had to drive alone. It's the outcome. But why it happened? Étant parti très tôt, because he left very early. So, since the condition here is this, that having left early, il a dû conduire seul, he had to drive alone, this is the outcome. So the one which is the condition, which is the first part of the sentence, we will be using this particular tense. And again, this also, since both parts are with il, it can be written in the infinitive passe also. So it will be après être parti, and then the rest of the sentence, then it would be like having left early, like the meaning will be same. Now let's change the subject. Okay, let's make il plural here. Il plural. If there it is il plural, then here also il plural only will be there, but here we can't say as of now because there is no subject in this past gerund. But let us assume that the first part is also with il plural. Since it is il plural, a plural subject, following the agreement, we will put the s right here. Let's alter it even more. Let's assume that we had L plural here. And again, an assumption that L plural is in this part also. Then the agreement will be E for the sake of feminine subject and S for the sake of plural subject. Now let's take third sentence. Let's write the third sentence. Ayant fait la lessive, je suis sorti. Sorti, the verb sortir, which means to go out. Okay, so ayant fait la lessive, having done the laundry. Having done this word means laundry. I left. Je suis sorti. That's in passé composé. So, ayant fait la lessive. This action is taking place before. Like first I finished my laundry, then I left. Or then I moved out. So, since the first action is faire la lessive, we will put this tense in the first part. So, ayant fait la lessive. The past participle of the auxiliary verb and the past participle of the verb faire. So, faire's auxiliary verb is avoir and avoir's participle form is ayant. So, ayant fait la lessive, je suis sorti. As I said, that infinitive passe can be used in place of this French perfect participle if both part of the sentences are having the same subject. So, it can also be like après avoir fait. That will also be absolutely alright. The meaning will remain unchanged, mind it. Now let's take an example of a sentence where French perfect participle is applicable but infinitive passe is not applicable, and the case is the one which we have already discussed, that if both subjects are different, then we can use this tense, French perfect participle, but we can't use infinitive passe. So that becomes our fourth example. The first part I am writing with ils. Ils ayant fait le ménage. The first part of the sentence, je me suis relaxé devant la télé. Yeah. So, ils ayant fait le ménage. Now, one thing different is here, that we notice that if both subjects are different, both subjects are same, we are not writing the subject here. But in the fourth case which I have taken, first part is with ils, second part is with je. So we can conclude one thing, that subject do come in front of past gerund if the subject along with past gerund is different from the subject in the preceding part of the statement. So, ils ayant fait le ménage, they having done the work, je me suis relaxé devant la télé. I relaxed myself in front of the TV. See, we are writing the subject here just because both parts of the sentence have a different subject. Otherwise, could have been it je only. We wouldn't have written ils here. Then the meaning would be, having done the work, I relax myself in front of TV. But if there was subject il, then it would have meant that they having done the work, I relax myself in front of TV. C'est tout pour aujourd'hui. That's all for today. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you have any doubt or suggestion, you may write that in the comment section below. You may also like my Facebook page by the same name, Learn French with Anubhav. Thanks for watching. Au revoir. N'oubliez pas que la langue française est l'amour.